Hey guys, one of the funny memes that you'll see whenever you're watching some of the high-rated Battlegrounds players playing mech comps is the idea that you should just start forming magnetic stacks. And sometimes it's not very clear if you're not too familiar with why you should and shouldn't do magnetic stacking. So hopefully this video will kind of be a guide for one, what is magnetic stacking? Two, why would you want to do it? And then three, and probably most importantly, when should you do stacking? Um, the video in the background is actually me not doing a stacking comp versus someone else in the eventually the final match who was doing magnetic stacking. And both of us were in similar spots for both most of the game. And I guess this is kind of a hopefully a video that explains why I didn't stack and why that was the right decision. So first, what is stacking? Stacking is when you play magnetics on a magnetic minion and triple it. You then take that golden magnetic minion and you put it on a new base magnetic and repeat the process. Essentially what you're doing is you keep tripling the minion that you're putting magnetics on and playing your magnetics then on that. So that gives an obvious question of why would you want to be doing this? Firstly, it only makes sense if you have a beatboxer. Otherwise, you're just creating this one very big magnetic minion and not really getting anything out of it. But if you have beatboxer, every time you play a new stack, and when I say stack, I'm referring to the like golden minion. Once you triple a magnetic, so every time you get a new stack, you play that and on a new magnetic minion, you're getting all that triple and then all the previous magnetic minions copied over to the beatboxer. If you're familiar with like comp sci or math terms, you're getting that buff, and then you're kind of recursively getting all the previous magnetics that you've played on of it. Um, and you can use this to one just multiply the buffs themselves, but you're also using this to multiply the effects of stuff like a Cortatron that gives you the extra gold, or the Lulabot that's doing the end of turn buffing. Plus, you're normally doing this in the typical magnetic buff comp, so you're playing more magnetics. So now I guess the hard question of when should you and should you not stack. In the game that's playing in the background, you'll see I get a beatboxer on turn 10, and that's kind of the turn where I have to make a decision whether I'm playing a stacking game or not. And the reason I chose not to in this game was I was at 4 HP. And what you should understand is stacking puts off tempo of a magnetic now for extra effects later. It's a value for tempo trade-off. You should consider also if you have enough magnetic generation in your comp. In this game, I did. I was generating about 4 magnetics a turn, assuming everything died that was my magnetic generation. Um, but really what you need to think about is there's 4 magnetic minions that you can get off of any like random generation effect, and you need to triple them for the stacking to even occur. So in general, my rule of thumb is you should be able to guarantee get 2 to 3 magnetics a turn, and that's kind of your minimum for even considering to go a stacking comp. Otherwise, your scaling will be too slow, and you're not going to even keep up with just linear scaling comps. So those are kind of the 3 enablers for magnetic stacking. You have a beatboxer. You should have over 15 HP that you can lose one fight. Ideally, you're able to lose two. And then that you're generating, let's just say, at least 2 to 3 magnetics a turn. But part of that's also kind of where are you in the game. Earlier on, your earlier magnetic generation is more important to get going. Um, Finally, I guess it's a nice to have a pair of magnetics. Either like you'll have a Lulabot on your board and then maybe one in the shop that can kind of like give you a pair already, that it's easier to get that first stack going. But I would say that's a nice to have kind of thing. If you don't meet those 3 conditions of HP, beatboxer, and generation, at that point it's probably better to just go normal like linear scaling um, magnetics. And when I say linear scaling, I'm saying like just put your Lulabot, Cortatron, or whatever on your whatever your biggest divine shield or your cleave or whatever minion makes sense that you're trying to buff. Really, the stacking doesn't become beneficial until you get to your second triple. Before the first stack, it's obvious that like you're just playing a minion without any extra effects, so it's like obviously worse then. Um, doing just playing your magnetics as you get them. On the first one, you're arguably worse because you're losing a minion slot on the board to play this magnetic minion. Yes, the effects have been copied over, so it's about on par with just doing the linear scaling. And then once you get to the second one, then you've gotten like exponentially scaling buffs, and that's going to be better. So hopefully this gives you kind of a little bit of lesson for kind of the thought process for when you should and shouldn't go stacking. There is a little bit of leeway on if you're at something like 45 health, maybe you don't need as much magnetic generation or vice versa. But these are kind of like the checkboxes that go through my head for what I'm doing when I get to the magnetic comps. The beatboxer stacking is one of the strongest things you can do and one of the easiest ways to secure a board because it's so hard to counterplay. Really, the only ways to counter this comp is you have to do both like a trick shot to get rid of some of the reborn and divine shields, and then you also need to probably play like a bunch of bramble witches to take the stats off of minions. And even after all of that, like you're still trying to get through divine shield reborn minions, and it's just a lot of stats that you're dealing with. It's a lot of stats and a lot of utility all into one comp. It just takes time to get going. So anyways, hopefully this helps you guys. Hopefully this kind of gives you a better idea for if you should or shouldn't play the comp, and hopefully this helps you guys in your climb. See you out there. Good luck. Bye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch.